Let's show them we can rise from ash. Jade, Lavender, and Scarlet Phoenix power. Together we will rise. They tried to burn us, we bloom like a flower. They didn't know we had a Phoenix's power. Phoenix power.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jade Feinics. We are back. We are freezing. Freezing! It's not been a good time in the nest. Forgive us for the 1 week absence. The winter storm that got hit New York, New Jersey, and basically actually most of the Northeast kind of took us out. We were not good over here.
No, it was crazy town.
No, we were not good. But you heard the voices, so let's say, hey!
Hey!
We're going to start off with, Crimson, who's down in Jersey. What's
How's
up?
it going?
What's up? How you doing?
How's it going, everyone?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
All right. And then, of course, you hear the lovely melodious tones of our Lavender.
It all started when I was born.
And I didn't want to be born last week.
No!
It was
too
miserable.
fucking cold.
And I was stuck in a fucking airport for part of it. And it wasn't even that much warmer when I got to Vegas.
Ew!
It was literally only 50 degrees when I got to Vegas, which I know is better than what it was here, but
Okay.
I was hoping for some reprieve.
Okay. Between
Yeah.
the storm that hit us, okay, and then the sub-zero Arctic temperatures, and then on top of the fact that your girl got sick with the plague from Diginan, because we have this weird cold that's going around up here. I don't know who else is suffering out there into the Phoenix Nation, but it's this, so there's like several variants that are going around. You have this weird flu.
Yes, I remember from what you told me and what Diginan said.
Right, but what we had definitely was not that. Apparently there's a new COVID variant that everybody is calling the razor blade variant because it feels like you swallowed razor blades and cut glass.
Oh.
And it's a COVID variant apparently. There's also this insane stomach flu that's been going around. Like, it is just the year of nasty.
No, like I'm sure as the nation can hear, I am getting over a little bit of a coffee cough myself.
This is after I dosed her up on
this
so
is
much.
after I got dosed up. So this is like semi halfway there. My mother yelled at me on the phone today to go get my prescription for my inhaler.
Yep.
Level cough.
And big shout out to our brother Cam, who was also like, he was sick. He was sick.
Very sick. He ended up in the
emergency
room
today. Like, because it's the cold. The cold made his asthma flare up so badly that he ended up in the ER because of it.
No, it's crazy. It's not great out there.
My asthma has not been very happy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is every time I leave, I am getting short of breath, which is very unusual because my asthma is usually very controlled.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I have a friend of mine that lives up in the mountains, like 2.5 hours outside the city, up in, like, God's country, as he likes to call it. And he has, like, he had the same thing that me and Diginan had. But he still has no voice. Like, his voice is still not right. And he's coughing so fucking badly.
Ugh.
And I told him, I was like, I have a feeling yours is morphed into bronchitis, which is what I assume Lavender is suffering from as well.
Yeah, because I get bronchitis so often.
And easily.
Because I've gotten it so often.
Yeah.
That, like, that's why my mom was like, go to the doctor, get your inhaler, because she knows the drill. And she also knows that I hate going to the doctor, and I've already had to go multiple times this week for other unrelated things. So, I would do anything to avoid it. But she is right, and so are all my besties at the gate,
And
so I guess I'll
Crimson,
go.
hey, thank God you've been okay, correct?
Yeah, no, I haven't been, like, getting sick or anything, luckily, so, knock on wood, so.
Yeah, I was
Knock on
going to say,
wood.
knock on wood.
This is when we find out a week later that Crimson has fallen ill with some mysterious
He better not!
variant disease.
He better not! excited because Crimson and I have a show that we are working our first market of the year.
Oh, hell yeah, you do.
When this
Yes.
episode drops, we will be a day away from the indie art show, a fantastic event that we have been, the Phoenix Gate itself, has been a part of for several years. And it is our first show, our first actual like working show as a vendor, not attending, because MagFest is always our first show, but Indie Art Show is our first vendor event of the year. And we will be there at the Great South Bay Brewery all day Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock, and it ends around 8-ish. So come out to the Great South Bay. You guys have been there multiple times for the Phoenix Gate, with our moonlight markets and other things that we've done there. Come out, get yourself a tarot reading from me, give yourself a little Valentine's Day presents, because I will have all sorts of fun things. And Crimson, tell Phoenix Nation what you will have as available for your wares. Tell them. Do it.
I have a couple things that I'll be pretty much selling over while we're there. Most of them more Pokemon related, but a good amount of them is all pretty much 3D printed.
Ooh.
It's almost like
Yeah.
we lore dropped something.
Did we? I think so.
Ooh.
I think we did.
I think we did.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
It's like that moment when they say the name of the movie during the movie.
They
You know what I
we
mean?
Deadpooled it.
We Deadpooled it, exactly. We broke the fourth wall.
But yeah, no, you have all sorts of 3D printed items brought to us by your company, correct?
Yes.
What is the name
Talon's
of your
Touch,
company?
It's the Talon's Touch. Pretty much I'm going to be selling some of the previous things that I've had made to as well for other markets, but I'll be having some newer things also being given pretty much sold as well. Some extra special things. And also a few things, I guess, also in light of the next, I guess you could say like holiday, I guess, for
Hallmark holiday.
Valentine's Day. No, for Valentine's Day. So I'll be having some things sold too, in case you're ever feeling like getting something a little trinket that's a little nice, little trinket gift for your significant other, or even just a friend or family member too as well. I'll be having some little trinkets printed as well for the holiday.
That's amazing. So the Phoenix Gate, in conjunction with the Talent Touch, we will be at the Indie Art Show February 7th. Starts at 1 p.m. at the Great South Bay Brewery out on Long Island. Come through. Hell to the fuck yeah. We've been advertising it on all of our social media. So if you're not following us on all of our social media,
What are you doing?
what's wrong with you?
Why do you not
Why do you
go
hate
on
us?
the internet?
Why do you hate us?
Yeah, you can't hate us.
No.
We love you.
We fucking hate ice.
Don't even get me ice out, bro.
That and actual ice.
No,
Yes.
for real.
For real. No, we
you
do
know,
not like the snow.
We do not like the snow.
We do not like the ice.
We also do not support kidnapping children. So,
No.
just so everybody knows, to
No.
make that clear.
So, like, fuck ICE on multiple levels, but especially get them the fuck out of anywhere they are in the country, because we stand with Minnesota.
no, 100%. And
Rest in peace, Alex
yeah,
and Renee
and Renee.
and the others. There's so many others that have not been getting their flowers and their recognition.
Exactly. It's like, this is a nation that was built on the backs of immigrants. And,
Every single person here is an immigrant.
that's what I was going to say. Every single person here at the Nest, their families started in another country.
Yeah.
And they came here
Yep.
to find solace and a better life. And the least we can do for others is protect our neighbors, care for them, and fuck ICE.
Well, Crimson, you're a first generation citizen, correct? Because your parents immigrated here from Portugal.
Yeah, my family is from Portugal. I'm technically considered I think I'd be considered first generation technically, but technically not technically because my mom was born here,
But she moved
but
back.
raised in Portugal.
Okay.
But she was born here, raised in Portugal. My dad was born and raised in Portugal.
So you're
I was
still
born
you're
here and raised
still
here.
you're still considered first gen. you still would be considered a first generation because they lived in another country and they moved back and then they had you.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I said you would still be considered first generation because
Yeah.
they lived there and then moved back and created a life here and then had you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like me and my family usually have that debate a lot. It's like whether or not it's just like, oh, am I really first generation in the U.S.? Am I not? Technically, my mom is first generation from my mom's side. I guess you can say I am first generation from my dad's side. Technically, not first generation from my mom's side because again, she was legally born here.
Right.
Um, and she actually got her documents and everything, so she's an American since birth.
Right. Well, either way, your family, is a newer, I would say newer immigrant to come to this country. My family lines, we've been here for not many generations, believe it or not, honestly, because my father's side, I believe, has only been here for 5 generations, and my mom's side has only been here for about 4. So we're not like super duper old, but long enough, couple 100 years we've been here. Both sides of my family. What about you, Lav?
To be honest, it's either my great-grandfather or my great-great-grandfather. Just because not that I'm totally blanking. It happened during the potato famine. I just can't remember.
That would be 18. The black harvest would be 1876 or 1892, something like that.
Yeah, so I think it was
because the potato famine started in the late 1800s and then
continued through the early 1900s.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be my dad's great-grandpa and my great-great-grandpa.
So 3-4 generations
Yeah,
as well.
so like 3-4 generations.
Yeah, because that's when my family immigrated here too. It was during the famine.
And, it's one of those things that I feel very strongly about it for a lot of reasons. But even more so, like, I personally feel nobody's illegal on stolen land.
Agreed.
And, we're human beings, no matter how you feel about anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human beings and we all need to take care of each other. And just seeing this crazy dystopia we live in is unsettling.
I'm going to add a caveat to that. Yes, we should take care of each other as human beings, but not ICE agents, not any of the Trump administration, and definitely not any of the fucking people in the Epstein files. So fuck that.
Where's my cuff crawl? Where are all the people going to jail, motherfuckers?
I don't want to talk. That is a completely different episode.
Oh, yes, it is.
We went off on a small tangent, but...
Sorry, y'all.
No, I'm not sorry. The Feinics Gate firmly stands against everything that is happening, and I will not continue to... for a while, we were trying to stay as neutral as humanly possible, but guess what? That is not...
That's over.
That's over. We are not neutral. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. Fuck the people who are in the Epstein files. Fuck this entire administration and their insanity, and I will not ever apologize for what I'm saying. And if you do not like that, Feinics Nation, then you don't need to be a part of the Feinics Nation. If you stand for any of that, you are not associated with us. And I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks.
No, fair. I meant like sorry, y'all, as in I went off on a tangent.
No, you're good.
Because I can go off on tangents. I'll always admit it.
You're good. But the fact that New York and New Jersey have had literally subarctic temperatures. Like, we've been colder than Alaska.
Which has been very, very upsetting, to say the least, when I've said very openly on this podcast that I believe I am a lizard.
Yeah. The iguanas are falling.
Yeah, I'm falling out of my fucking tree, motherfucker. I'm not even one whole piece anymore.
No. Poor Crimson... On Friday, when me and Crimson went off to one of our little soirees.
A soiree.
As we do. Right, Crimson? And what was it? It was so fucking cold that day that your beard and mustache were immediately turning to ice as soon as you stepped outside, correct?
Oh, in terms of like the temperature from outside? Like,
yeah, when we were outside in the freaking weather on Friday.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started with that.
Yeah, I am getting you started. I need to know. I need to hear the story of your magnificent beard and mustache suffering.
No, but I'm saying I was saying that as like a figure of speech, but of course I'm gonna I'm gonna mention it. But no, yeah, no, like temperatures were just so bad over here. My goodness. What was it? It was just like we definitely like just stepping outside. I just immediately felt my beard and my mustache just tense up. Like you could feel like it just turns into icicles
Ugh.
because of all the moisture.
That
It's just
hurt
like,
my soul.
my God.
No,
I'm
thank
just
you.
like, my God,
Not for me.
hated it.
No, thanks.
I don't want that. I don't need like no, absolutely not. It has been so freaking cold that
Yeah.
everything has been suffering. Like one of my windows in the nest shattered.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the one in my kitchen above the
Yeah.
sink because of the thermal temperatures from inside versus outside. I have double pane storm window. The outside pane shattered.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, that was fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like it was crazy coming back from Vegas.
Oh God.
And then not only did I get stuck on the tarmac in Vegas, because I was supposed to be home earlier,
You were.
but I came in from JFK and I live in a neighborhood with a lot of older people, specifically my block.
You been, Loco?
And I didn't realize that they really didn't do a lot of plowing because it was considered like a state of emergency.
Yeah.
So I got there. Well, number one, I had to go to Howard Beach to get a cab, which let's not even get into that. But the cab guy had like horrible, awful BO.
Ew.
So I was like running out of this fucking Uber. And it's not even like my suitcase was heavy because it was just like work clothes and my business persona.
Yeah.
But I had to literally am like trying to not look like I'm so relieved to get out of this Uber. But
No touchy.
I literally called Ralph afterwards and I was like, did nobody fucking shovel?
No.
Because literally not only was it not shoveled, but everything had turned to ice. And as we know, I do not have great balance. And I was trying to get over an ice mountain because there was literally no other way to get onto my sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I slipped all the way down and fell almost like face first.
No.
And there was I'm not going to lie, I was so pissed. There was a guy that was like standing right there and he was just staring at me. And I immediately looked up and I went, "What the fuck you looking at?" And he just stared at me and I'm like, "You can't even say, 'Are you okay?' or 'Excuse me.'"
I mean,
And he just like gave me a look and walked away. And
maybe he didn't speak English.
maybe, but like I was really cranky and he didn't even ask me if I was all right.
That's true. Plus, also, if you see somebody falling down and you're not helping them, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Like here's the thing: if he didn't like speak English, but he like also just like stared at me, so he obviously saw me fall and was watching me fall in real time.
No.
And it was like a young guy. It wasn't like an old person or somebody who couldn't do anything.
So it was just a prick?
It was just a prick. He was
Uh,
like a young guy. He was just staring at me as if this was like his entertainment. And I'm not going to lie, I started cursing and yelling at him. Because look, I'm not a Vegas girly. So I was already like not in the mood. And I just had to sit in a 30-minute cab with BO.
Ugh.
And then I fall over this mountain of ice.
No.
And I'm just being stared at. And it was very sad. And I was so relieved yesterday when stuff started actually slightly fucking melting, dude.
Yeah, which is sucking because we're getting another storm this weekend.
Yep. And I'm like, why would we do
Yeah.
this to me? But, it was a good excuse for my boyfriend to come over with his big Ugg blanket because all my blankets went kaputty in the great flood of
the great flood
January
of January
2026.
2026.
So at least now I have a big comfy blankie that's keeping me warm.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
So here's my question. Because we've been going on and on about the storm and on about the snow and the crap and the cold. How does this personally, as a creator, Crimson, how does this affect a 3D printer?
So, I mean, in terms of like, oh man, where would I even start?
The beginning is usually the best.
I guess when it comes, do you want me to start with like from the beginning, like history? Because we could go from there. We could start from there, and
Well,
I can go.
Today's episode is the rise of 3D printing.
That's true. And honestly, we
Might
can
as
take
well.
a prologue.
I'll love a prologue. Lay it on us,
Yeah.
Crimson. This is your
Sure.
field of expertise.
Yeah. So believe it or not, 3D printing has been around for a very long time. Like we're talking since like let me see here. I believe if I'm not mistaken, it should be like 1970s around there.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of the stuff was being imagined and kind of like schematics, I guess you could say, were being put together and things were being patented, but nothing really was being done yet in terms of mechanics.
Okay.
When the actual first 3D the first 3D printer experiments, I guess you can say, they actually date back around 1980s, around I think the beginning of the 1980s. Um, and that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was actually SLA printers, which, if I'm not mistaken, SLA, those should be falling under resin categories.
It's
So
called a
resin
hustle,
printers,
sweetheart.
those essentially use, if for those who don't know what SLA printers are resin printers. They are essentially printers that pretty much they cure a layer of resin and a very thin layer, depending on how what kind of printer and specs and all that. But essentially, it cures a thin layer of resin, right? Um, Now, I, I I wasn't able to really find out exactly what kind of resin and because
So we can just
there are
assume that
different
it was
kinds.
normal. Let's just assume it was normal resin for the layman.
Generic,
Generic.
yeah. I guess just from the basics of the basics, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's pretty much around the time of, like I said, the 1980s is when they actually started experimenting in creating 3D printers. Now, obviously, the general public didn't really know all that much, didn't really bother because, again, this is all stuff that people were kind of just putting together. So it was more for experimental purposes. People did not even have the chance to even see it as a
So it
commercial
was like
or
more
consumer product.
industrial. It was more of an industrial
You
thing.
could say that, yeah, pretty much. It was more of under as an industrial, um, and pretty much like then I guess over the years, 3D printing started popping up a little bit more in general fabrications and other sort of I guess I mean, heck, they've even been even included in construction work, which in constructing homes, which I believe even in constructing homes, it was even around even earlier than that. I would say probably within, I want to say, I think the 2010s. I believe it was already kind of popping in a little bit more. I believe I even heard something about it being already existing prior to that, but can't really find a whole lot of info on that. Um, if you really know how to dig deep into other certain areas, probably would be able to find a little bit more. But in terms of, I guess if we want to say here within the U.S.,
Well, I can
we're
add
thinking
in
around
on
there.
that. I can add in on that.
Yeah.
So 3D printing is actually known as additive manufacturing.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's all or rapid prototyping.
Okay.
It's a technology that the first patent was filed in the 1980s.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And different companies have fought for a first place position to become the brand name of 3D printing since then. Now, the patents expired and they all became available to the masses. The new industry opened up and it became available to anybody that was willing to try. And today, literally because of all of that started in the 1980s and the late 1970s when this technology was being created and all that stuff, is you can literally go online on Amazon, on any like website now and buy a printer.
Yes.
It became more. That's the thing. It's a lot now, but I remember because I've actually managed to like I've paid attention from the start of it because I remember when they actually started becoming more, I guess in terms of store bought or even online,
Well,
they
yeah.
start becoming more readily available around, I want to say, 2013. No, nay, it was between 2014 to 2018.
Well, it's actually
Those
funny
were
because I
Mhm.
am looking, at my notes so that I can keep up with you because you're obviously our 3D printer guru. You know what you're talking about. So of course,
Yeah.
me and Lavender, who don't know shit.
Exactly. I am not as tech savvy
No.
as everyone else here.
So
admittedly.
it's actually funny because it's Hideo Kodama who filed the first 3D printing patent application describing a
Yes.
photopolymer rapid prototyping system
Okay.
that uses UV light to harden the material. But this idea was never commercialized.
Resin.
Right. Then in
Correction.
1983,
That would actually. That would. Sorry. Just want to add one little side note before you continue. The UV, that was if you're looking under it, because I'm assuming under your notes. Was it written under as SLA or no?
no.
Is it not SLA?
No,
That's why I'm finding a little bit
that's
strange because
where
usually.
where if you had let me and you didn't interrupt, I would have told
Sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
in 1983, Charles Hull invents the first stereolithography apparatus, also known as an SLA machine.
Yes.
So there's your
Okay.
answer, since you were so confused.
Yeah.
Oh, but may I ask an on-point question?
Yes.
Since we were
Go
talking
ahead.
about snow and the winter weather, Crimson, you would probably know this better than anybody. Would a 3D print withstand the weight of shoveling snow? Like, could you use a 3D print to make a shovel?
It depends on, honestly, it really depends on the material it's made of.
Interesting.
Like right
Okay.
now, I think in this day and age now, we're getting so many different types of materials being able to be used for this type of applications. You have like the basic materials, which are the PLA plus, which that's kind of like what I would call like kind of between cheap and also readily available materials because especially for I guess I could say artists and stuff, like if you're a very artsy type of person, you like making stuff through 3D modeling and then also having them printed. PLA is probably your best option, but again, it also can vary based off of what the what the prints, what kind of application you're thinking of using the print for.
Yeah.
If it needs to hold something, if it needs to, you know, be able to withstand a certain amount of weight.
Stress.
You can always change that up on the material however you want.
Okay.
So
It's
in
actually
terms of,
it's
I
actually
guess,
pretty
yeah,
funny because like if you think about it, if you take the time to 3D print a shovel, and since PLA most of the time is just basically plastic,
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why, if you have a good 3D model, why it would fail.
You see, that's what I think is so interesting, right? Is like you don't think about plastic as this big, tough, like thing sometimes when you think of 3D prints.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you can almost make at home.
Yeah.
And then you could
So-
essentially 3D print a shovel. And
Well-
you could have shoveled ourselves out of Forest Hills.
I mean, 3D printing was such a widely well, not widely, but such a new technology that did you know that they actually can 3D print organs?
Yes, I did know that,
Yeah.
actually.
They can 3D
I
print
think
organs.
that came up. What year did they start talking about that? Because I remember, I believe I was in
1999.
college.
It was
I was in college when they actually came up publicly
no
about it.
1999. Wake Forest Institute of Regenerative Medicine grows the first 3D printed organ for transplant surgery, which was a lab-grown urinary bladder.
Which is like,
Oh,
I actually
okay,
saw
so
it
actually,
on Grey's
I
Anatomy.
Actually, you know what? I think it was a heart. The other one that I saw, the one that I saw when I was still in college, I think it was between 20. So that was a bladder. This one that I'm remembering was a heart, an actual heart. So I'm guessing maybe they've been trying it with different organs.
I would assume
Um,
because
Yeah, I'm presuming so.
Well,
Most likely
yeah.
that is the case.
because like it was in the 80s that the the Charles Hull, he built his first machine
Mhm.
and he co-founded 3D Systems Corporations.
Okay.
Then a man named Carl Deckard filed a patent for a selective laser sintering process, the SLS. The patent was issued in 89 to DTM Incorporated, a company that was later acquired by 3D Systems.
Cool. Okay.
And then in 1988, 3D Systems sells the first commercial rapid prototyping printer, the SLA-1. So
Yes.
1988, it seems, when they started actually profiting on these patents and designs. It took them 8 years from creation. Well, actually, technically, if you go, it's actually 5 years. 8 years since somebody actually created what would be the foundation, I guess. 3 years later, that guy, said, "Oh, I can do this with that," and then 5 years later, his company actually starts commercially building these machines. So that's pretty cool.
And yeah, and the thing is, when we say commercial too, keep in mind for the people out there, when it came to commercial, these things were mostly only bought by big companies.
Or created by
So-
big companies.
So
Exactly.
kind of like how computers
So-
started.
Of the window.
Yeah, if you think about it, like
IBM.
obviously, with the first set of computers, like they were the size of a room.
Yeah.
Only big businesses can afford to, and not only that, again, since it was a new technology, it was expensive.
Very.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much a 3D printer was, just as a computer was as well. So,
Of course. And it's pretty cool
so,
because then
but-
other styles of printers based on these other printers were
Mhm.
created. And it's like in 1989, Scott and Lisa Crump filed for a patent for a fused deposition modeling, FDM. They would go on to co-found Stratasys Incorporated. And then
so that's so just to specify FDM. So just before you go a little bit further, I want to kind of describe what FDM for people who don't know.
yeah, please.
So FDM is what we typically see as the plastic printers. So those are the
Okay.
ones that you see that you have what's called the one that's the enclosure ones, and then you have the open ones as well.
You're
which
going to
see,
need to
like, you
explain the
obviously-
difference between enclosure and open to the Phoenix Nation because
So,
nobody knows
yes.
what that means.
Because I'm
Exactly.
looking at Jade right now.
I was just getting to that. So an enclosure one essentially is just a heated chamber one, if you think about it. So
Okay.
essentially, it's completely enclosed. All heat and everything is able to be retained within the space that it's closed in.
Doesn't that make things
For the
melt
open
though?
one, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to explain that in just a second. Actually.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and then for the open one, obviously we have everything you can see, right? You can see the hot end, which is the part that actually, pours the plastic onto the bed and onto the rest of the model that you're printing. And you can see the railings and all that, right? You can see the belts, you can see everything. That's an open printer. Now, like you were asking before, for the enclosure one, wouldn't it be really hot in it for it to be able to print properly? No, actually. So when it comes to temperatures, it's actually better for it to maintain the heat, which, funny enough, you also asked the question, would the cold really affect 3D printing? Very much, actually.
That's why I made the
because-
question.
The segue.
Segues! It's what we do.
Yes. So,
Take that,
kind of,
depression!
so kind of just like finishing up with pretty much why heat doesn't really affect it as much. It's more along the lines of rapid. Somebody say this: cold temperatures will cause prints to cool down. Yes, but if it cools down too fast or has like sort of a very quick decrease in temperature, it will actually cause the prints to warp, which obviously you don't want that. A few other factors can also cause warpage too, which is
Warpage.
essentially
I like that
love
word.
Yeah,
that new
warpage.
word. Warpage is now what we're gonna be saying here at the gate.
Yeah,
Anytime
so
something's not right, it's a warpage.
It's a warpage.
so it's essentially for people who don't know what warping is. Essentially, it's just
Wah, wah.
you say you have like a straight piece of plastic, and then essentially over time it just starts having a bend on it.
Okay.
With cold temperatures, and also another key factor into that too can also be bad adhesion, which or essentially like how well it sticks to the bed. If it's either dirty or maybe the print bed is just no good, and you need to swap it out because it's been used so much. That can also be a thing too.
Well,
That
yeah, I'm sure
can
that
also be a key factor to that.
I'm sure that over time, like all these pieces, because of the high heat and the movement and all that,
Mhm.
obviously they need to be, maintained and swapped out as they unfortunately
Yeah.
lose their effectiveness. Like,
yeah, like
from
a computer.
right, like because from what I've noticed, the few times that I've been over to the Crimson's nest, his Griffin's nest, those the bed that he's talking about kind of reminds me of like Teflon.
Okay.
And you know how over time Teflon eventually
Yeah,
just,
it gets
wears
kinda-
away, goes
Yeah.
away. And I've seen Crimson repair 3D printers. So, this is definitely in our boys' wheelhouse here.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like what's great is like
yeah.
I'm almost like all of y'all in Phoenix Nation just listening and taking in this info because I don't even know what the closest city to us other than Manhattan is. So
Hey, I'm from fucking Florida.
ugh, sometimes my
But,
brain really does think it is.
I know. But it actually says
um,
that it wasn't until 2019 that 3D printing became as available as it is now. Like it has been since 2008 it became publicly
Yes.
traded, but 2019 is when 3D printing machines actually became affordable to the layman or the normal working person.
Yeah, like that makes sense
the
to me.
most popular printer, which is always the one that I guess for those people who are so used to now, just like for the ones that are just starting now or only started just like in the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You guys don't know the struggle that we went through when we
no.
first started having those printers. Hold on, when we start having the first set of printers without a bed leveling device, without auto calibrations,
Okay.
right? You had to do all that manually. Everything. Everything was done manually. So to level your bed, you had to adjust the springs underneath the bed the whole time, every single time. And sometimes you even had to double check before you started the print to make sure that everything was leveled because obviously it could have warped, even slightly touching the printer to shift it over. You'd have to probably calibrate it again.
Ew.
That
It
kind of
was
sounds
that bad.
miserable.
That sounds absolutely just
Oh,
no.
it was terrible. It was terrible.
I think
Yeah,
it
it was
explains
terrible.
just how passionate Crimson needs to be because if that's how you started, you are obviously passionate about the art
Or just
Mhm.
stubborn.
or
Oh, no.
stubborn. We love stubborn here though,
Or both.
or both.
I'm at half mast. I need
Um,
to hear this.
But the one with the one printer when you were saying like it obviously become more public and more readily available. Creality was actually one of the big 3D printing companies that really came out and started selling their printers, especially since they were, I guess you could say they were the ones that were considered, I guess, the most reliable,
Mm-hmm.
despite having to obviously do a lot of like auto calibrate, like manual calibration and all that. Especially since any sort of calibration at the time was not automated like how it is now.
Right.
So Ender 3 series of their printers, and obviously the ones prior, but the one that was the most popular was the Ender 3 Pro. Those ones were I get, for lack of better words, like the printer to start off with, as a
So
practice
that would
printer,
be
like
your
as a first
training
printer.
wheels, your training wheels printer.
Oh, I love that.
At the time, like around 2018, 2017, roughly. Yeah, actually, those were that printer was pretty much like the printer to get. Like everyone would rave about it, especially not only that, the level of customization when it comes to these printers, because these printers were also open source. So it's not like how it is with some of these other printers now, which again, there's nothing wrong with not being open source, by the way. If you like your printer and you like, doing some slight modifications to it where it has nothing to do with firmware modifications, totally fine.
Can I ask a
Um,
question before you go into another
Sure.
one of your long explanations?
Good.
What do you mean when you say open source? And a lot of people are probably, if they're not, again, we have Lavender who openly admits not technologically inclined when you say firmware
Mhm.
versus software and all these other things. These technical terms, I
I
think, for the
was
Phoenix Nation are just not going to be
That was the
palatable.
next thing I was actually gonna
Oh,
touch.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I used to
So
write a lot about open source, but now that that's not my job anymore, it just goes right out the head.
Bye.
so essentially open source just means that they essentially allow other people outside of the company that's selling the printer itself uh to create firmware.
You what?
And the firmware itself, um what it is in comparison to software. Firmware, think of it as a I guess for lack of better I guess words, it's kind of like an operating system, kind of like Windows almost. Think of it like that a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Where you have um a set firmware set up so that you have a baseline. You have a kind of like when you start up the device, it goes to the settings screen. That is your firmware.
Okay.
Um, so that sort of stuff, when it came to the Ender 3 Pro, it was open source. So essentially, people can even edit that particular firmware, and essentially just add modifications. Either it's for aesthetic reasons or for better functionality. They would essentially be able to do that sort of stuff. So you have that capability to essentially modify the firmware.
Did you
Um,
have one
now,
of those?
I
Whoa, hold on a second. I think we lost Crimson.
Crimson got zapped.
Crimson got zapped. What
Oh,
happened?
it's all Ralph's fault. I've been watching too much of The Leftovers. He's disappeared.
Hold
into
on a
thin air.
second. We're reconnecting for some weird reason. Crimson,
telling
where did
y'all.
you go? Are you there?
We're telling y'all this cold, weird weather
Crimson, can you hear us?
is doing funky ass shit.
You know what? It's probably because it heard me talking shit. Hello? Oh no, we've lost Crimson
my gosh.
completely.
Oh my gosh.
No. Are you serious right now?
I really should stop watching The Leftovers.
Yeah, this is your fault.
This is my fault.
I don't know how this is your fault, but this
I
is your
keep
fault.
watching shows about the rapture and then suddenly disappears.
No. What is happening? We've lost Crimson completely, and that really fucking sucks because I don't understand what happened. So let me see if I can get Crimson back on the line. I'm gonna try our best, Phoenix Nation, but technical difficulties. You know what it is because it's too cold. and
Exactly.
It's too cold and the phone lines are freezing.
Exactly.
Hello? Oh no. It just will not connect now. Which is really fucking annoying because I know for a fact that you're here but I can't hear you at all. Oh no. That sucks. I don't know what to do. Help me, guys. Phoenix Nation, what does one
my
do?
gosh. Well, in the leftovers,
in the leftover, yeah.
one joins one of many cults. You can either join the hugging cult.
There's a hugging cult?
Yeah, there's this guy called. All right, so this show is nutso bananas, okay? And I know Phoenix Nation has been out for a while. My boyfriend loves it. It's my first time watching it. There's a hugging cult with this guy called Holy Wayne.
Okay.
And apparently he hugs everyone's trauma away and he makes them happy.
Okay.
So you could be in the hugging cult, and he's apparently obsessed with Asian American women.
Okay.
And then you could be part of the nihilistic smokers cult, where they all wear white and just smoke cigarettes all day and stage really shitty terrible instances.
Ew.
Like getting like mannequins of their departed family members
Ew.
and placing them in their houses. It's a very strange show. Like, and I think that's what happened to Crimson. I
Yeah.
think Crimson has departed
He turned into a mannequin.
and now he's a mannequin, and someone from the Guilty Remnant with a cigarette is going to walk up to us here in the nest
No.
and place Crimson right next to us here in the studio.
No.
And freak us the fuck out until, we riot and set their little housing communities on fire.
Well, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, like, it's a really great show. Don't get me wrong. But especially in these odd, trying times, it's been a little dystopian. Even, you know what? Hunger Games has been even more dystopian than ever.
Yeah.
Because I've been rereading a lot of stuff, right? Like, I've been rereading things that I grew up with.
Okay.
Because I think it's been really fun to just revisit these things and thinking they were so amazing as a teenager
Mm-hmm.
and just re-experiencing them. And I'll say there are some books that haven't held up well. Doesn't mean I don't still love them,
Right.
i.e. Twilight.
You're the obsession. Do you want to talk about the new makeup set that just came out
Oh
real
my
quick
God,
while I continue
I
to fix these fucking problems?
I freaking love the Eclipse makeup set. I literally ordered the whole thing. I'm obsessed with it. We are actually visiting one of our very good friends of the Gate for their birthday on this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to be using everything from that makeup kit for my look. I'm very, very excited.
As you should be.
I'm obsessed because I actually love jelly eyeshadows. They're some of my favorite things in the entire world. They're so like 2000s kitsch, and they make me feel glittery and wonderful. And
Glitterly is another big word.
glitterly, and like an absolute fae, which I fully support Cullen's as fae theory. So I am very excited about it. Oh my God. And the lip combos in this collection, I'm going to be wearing the Alice and Jasper lip combo for sure with my makeup look on Saturday.
Hell yeah.
But yes, I will admit.
Hello? Crimson, can you hear us?
Oh my gosh, is he back?
I'm trying to get him back.
Oh no, it's the rapture.
It's the rapture.
It's the rapture.
Okay, well that sucks.
Oh, my.
I tried even calling him from our Phoenix Gate business line, and even
And he
that's
just,
not working.
who knew, like this is what I get for watching things about cults and dystopian realities and proto-raptures, and this is what I get, y'all. Like,
So, you know what? We'll finish it up for you guys real
Yeah.
quick. We're gonna finish it up for y'all real quick. And
we promise we'll do a part 2. We'll talk more about 3D printing.
Well, I mean, 3D printing, we can. I'm pretty sure between you and I, we can easily finish it up.
Oh,
'Cause,
100%. We
you
just
know-
know the Crimson will want to do some lore dumping
Oh
about
yeah,
his
but
specific 3D printing.
for that, I would say you guys should go to our Phoenix Gate Instagram, and we'll have a whole little backwards and forwards with Crimson. Explaining 3D printing. In fact, actually, he'll probably even create a reel
Oh, hell yeah.
for you guys, so that way you can see like what the process is to, go from 3D printing to, whatever. I am gonna try one more time to get our boy back on the line, but
Right.
in the meantime,
Think of it this way. That's our gift to you for holding on
yeah,
while Crimson disappeared into wherever all the departed go.
I don't
We
know.
still don't know at this point in the show, okay?
We still don't know.
Ralph and I still don't know. Well, he does, but he's been
Not telling you.
yeah, he's been avoiding all of my like low-key pleas of trying to figure out what's going on because he made it very clear in the nicest way possible. He goes, babe, you watch a lot of TV. And I go, I do. And he's like, and the reason I know this is because every time we watch something, you're able to guess a plot point from like 50 miles away. So he's like, I'm just not going to react to anything. I'm going to say nothing. I'm not even going to twitch my face because more than half the time you're right.
More than half the time.
So, that is like a pretty big feat. And hey, I have a reel coming up that's going to be coming up on the Feinics Cave.
I'm so excited for that.
I am very excited. I'm actually going to be reviewing Iron Lung.
Noose, can you hear us?
Are you there, Crimson?
He's not
I'm
there.
going to say, are you there, Margaret? No, it's,
No.
are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
No.
I say as I just had to get a repap.
Ugh. All right.
Although,
Unfortunately, for the rest of this episode, we cannot bring back the
you're
Crimson.
stuck with us. Oh my God.
And which is annoying to me because I don't like this kind of chaos.
No,
I
me
enjoy
neither.
I enjoy the Phoenix Gates brand of chaos.
Yes, but that's
not
planned
this.
chaos.
Not
That's like
this.
we know that there are chaotic chakras within our being and that they're just gonna arise. This is more like chaos and hey, we know it's been tits up cold and we're just gonna make it worse because this tits up cold is gonna fuck with all your tech.
Yeah.
Which we don't like.
No, we don't like. And we did actually, maybe we tempted the tech gods.
I think we did. I think we're like, you know what? We can do it. This is great. We've got this. And then the tech god said, you thought you were bigger than me? You thought you were bigger than God? Well, now all you guys got a ton of fun lore dumping about
You did.
my medical problems, The Leftovers, which is on HBO Max. If any of you guys want to watch it almost in tandem with me and Ralph, you can like let us know. You can be like, oh, hey, this is how I feel about The Leftovers, 7 to 8 years after The Leftovers came out.
Pretty much. I mean, I personally caught up on a bunch of films the last few days that I did not see. One of them I wish I didn't.
Valid, because I will say this, though. I am just happy I now have my best friend to be able to complain to about this movie.
Me!
Because I feel fucking gaslit by all these people thinking that this movie was any good. And if you guys want to know what it is, let a bitch know.
No, we're going to talk about this on an episode between.
Because we have to. Because, hey, we are, of course, going to be covering all of the biggest and greatest things coming up in pop culture because we've got the Oscars coming up.
We just had the Grammys.
We just had the Grammys, which admittedly I totally forgot was happening.
Me too. And then also we had the Golden Globes.
Yes, we had the Golden Globes.
And we also had the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yes. Well, Royal Rumble, I, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
knew
you
was
were happy
going
about
on.
that.
I was very happy for my girl, Liv. And I can't wait because you better get a merch refresh after this because I want her Hot Girls Love Dominic Mysterio shirt.
You do.
I want it so badly.
You do.
Digi Nan, as soon as she wore it on Monday's Raw, sent me videos of it. And I was like, Digi Nan, you understand that I need this shirt. And
It's true.
I'm known too well, you know?
You are. We know you so well. But we're going to cut it short earlier
Yeah.
than we normally do thanks to these technical difficulties. Crimson is out there and I got to figure out, we have to troubleshoot. So
We need to grab
we
him.
need to, wait. To quote Crimson, we need to recalibrate. Because my 3D printing machine, i.e., my podcasting machine gloriousness, is decided it hates me.
It has some warpage.
It's warpage.
Warpage!
Nicely done. On that note, bye.
Bye.